All right, so we just finished up the J24 Nationals for 2022 in Dallas Corinthian Yacht Club. We had some amazing competitors. We had the Gill boat, Siesta Sailing from Japan, the Quantum Sails team, North Sails team, Vermont Sailing, some other really incredible competitors from New York to Puerto Rico, Mexico, and we always had the benefit of doing a chalk talk afterwards, which is essentially recapping the day and what certain people did, what certain people could have done better. And this to me is a video that I will continue to come back to, and that's why I'm posting it, just to see if you want to go full nerd on how to dial in your trim and rig and everything else on a boat. This is a great way to start. I have about 3 or 4 videos that I'm going to post, which have a lot of incredible information, again, from the North Sails team, from the Quantum Sails guys, and vtsailing.com over the Vermont Sailing crew. And it was as I continue to watch this, I know that I will learn from it. I hope that you can learn it as well. Thanks. Have a great day.
So for us, I'd say here 16 plus is our cutoff without lulls, right? For me. And with lulls, if it's 18 knots, but I also have a 10 knot lull, I'm probably going to stay with the Genoa here just to get through that lull. But I'll let Mike answer what your thought is, because I thought you were going to go to the blade today.
No, there's very clear rules on that. The trimmer doesn't get a vote, and the sail owner doesn't get a vote. Neither of those people get votes on when you're going to the blade. So otherwise it just becomes a decision of, if it's flat water and shifty, you go to it a little bit earlier. If it's if it's really wavy, which obviously it isn't out here, you go to a little bit later. But Trev hit the nail on the head. The lulls were, even in the last race when the breeze was up, the lulls were huge. There were times when I had the backstay totally off and we were starting to move people in. And that was where, we happened to round the leeward mark right next to the one of the boats with the blade up. I think it was the Siesta that had the blade up. And again, we were even with them when we were both heeled over, but as soon as it got light, we just sailed upwind on them and then sailed over the top of them. And it was a huge difference just in the lulls. So it's really the key here is actually just being able to survive the puffs, the big breeze with the Genoa up. And that's where what Trav was talking about before, the easing. When you first thing, ease the main. When you start to ease the main and the main's breaking up, you have to get the Genoa eased. Even before that, getting it out past the lifeline, to the lifelines. If it's wavy here, you could have been a little bit more than that. But really, it's about just keeping the boat moving forward and getting the sails eased, because you don't need the sails trimmed in all the way in 16 knots to go upwind. You'd rather be flat. That's better for going upwind than having the sails trimmed in all the way. So it's just the trade-off. But yeah.
Bill?
Yeah. No, we talked about it a little bit. I think it was between, was it race 3 and 4? Kind of maybe after the breeze kind of came in, we had a kind of one puff that came in pretty hard, and we were like, oh, that's a little jib weather there. But then it kind of moderated again, and we just worry about the lulls. It's when the breeze gets a little lighter, the difference is pretty dramatic, and I think it definitely showed at the end of that race for sure. But for when the breeze is on, if there's certainly some advantages with a little jib in flat water. I mean, it's easier to tack. You can short tacking happens a little bit more quickly. So there are definitely some advantages in those conditions. But you got to really, the trade-off is pretty huge with the lulls, if there are some. So I think that's what we really look at.
Got a good question. And one last thing on the blade, we also look at the competitors. It's like playing chicken. Who's going to do it first? So always look at your competitors and do what they're doing.
That's a quick question.
Yeah.
In the really puffier stuff, were your leads back one, or you're at neutral, or where were you at on your jib cars?
Yeah, with the jib cars today, we were neutral, which is touch, and then back one in the middle of the day.
Okay, yeah.
And as it got breezier, I actually went forward one because we were easing so much.
All right.
Yeah.
Huh. Now just likes to hit. Okay.
All right, I think that's it for us. Anybody else? All right, we're good. Good luck tomorrow, and enjoy the night.